Hi everyone, here is Witzilu speaking, and my warmest welcome back to the Mixologies of Métissage Sangue Misto podcast, which have the mission to build inclusive and confident mixed leaders who can engage in experiences that positively impact our ever changing world by interacting services, learning, and leadership into all experiences. As you know, I've been saying this for a while. Our payoff is inspiring, empowering, mentoring, and valuing the mixed world tribe. And it's meant to encourage the right and optimal mindset and overcome fears with the aim to make the most of our abilities and gifts. Today, I'd like to share with you all my thoughts about the benefits of an authentic mindset. Have you people ever thought about this? When mentoring individuals, I usually prioritize authenticity, trying and concentrating on the training. It's all being the best version of yourself, and I do believe in best versions, but I now believe in being the truest version of yourself, because trying to always be the best feels a little weighty, kind of like the pressure of hostile culture, right? The be the best mindset can lead to burnout. This is something I've always been aware of. We often feel that we need to keep going, and if we don't, then someone else will. There's a quote that says, most things will work if you just switch them off and take the power cord out for a bit, including you. Showing up authentically is good for minorities too, and it beats the existential exhaustion of having to code switch in different environments. I believe most of us don't have the energy for that. At least I don't. So I prefer making a good point about being authentic about mental health too, because there will be days when we are full of energy and others when we're not so happy, go lucky, or full of energy. A typical workplace issue, namely toxic positivity, is a practice where people suppress all negative emotions, which can lead to overwhelm and emotional implosion further down the line. So, how to create a better work culture? Creating a better work culture won't happen overnight, but requires a collective effort. Its success is underpinned by the willingness of leadership to engage with the lower rungs of a business. This includes leaders asking staff questions, valuing their opinions, and turning their thoughts and feelings into actions, which ends up with the results and the impact. A collection of people at the bottom might make a difference, but that most of the time you need a highly influential individual in the business to make things forward. Being influential means having privilege, which should be used to support underrepresented groups, as for instance, a black woman from the suburbs who grew up in a low-income background. We still have, she still have privilege in some rooms because she might be able-bodied and heterosexual, let's say. So in those spaces, she needs to either lend her voice or lend the volume to those that are minority, and make sure that there is equal footing in whose voices are being heard. Speaking up for people without speaking for them can be achieved by simply asking questions. It's as simple as asking, what do you think? What's your experience? It's about providing space to ask questions and maybe, allowing for that sense of belonging. Because if you're trying to take over that person's opinion without asking, then you are as bad as everyone else in the room. So, my mentorship for self development and female inclusion is surrounded by the simply thought that through my coaching career, I learned the value of mentorship just recently when paired with the white male and much older managers in many companies. And when it comes to mentorship, whether it's senior down to a younger person or reverse, I think there is so much that each person can take away. The mentorship experience can be fluid regardless of whether it's a traditional or reverse, but there need to be aims set at the beginning for it to be a useful experience. I think it's important to set from the very beginning what it is you want to get out of the experience. Because if you don't, it can drag on for no particular reason. There needs to be a structure in regards to knowing what the aim is that you are both there to accomplish. In my coaching role, I mentor mid to senior level professionals that are one step down from the executive level. Many of them, including several women, are at the pivotal moment in their careers, but confidence issues like imposter syndrome are holding them back. With burnout, mental health issues, and fixed mindsets, common challenges in an ideal world, corporations should be obliged to offer therapy services in the same way that they have to pay into employee pensions pot. While corporations would argue about cost, I would retort that the savings recouped in better productivity, less employee turnover, and fewer absences caused by mental health issues are reasons enough to consider it. I can also say that promoting employees to train to become mental health first aiders could boost empathy and improve team communication. I recently had a client, for instance, that who was going for a role, and she was like, I can do it. I thought it was really interesting that she thought she couldn't as she got the interview. We helped her prepare for the interview, and she secured the role. Then there was a whole other avalanche of feelings. When she received the offer, it was more than she was counting on, and she was like, they've got it wrong. I said, let's talk about it. Why have they got it wrong? Why don't you deserve 30% more than what you are currently on? It took us about 2 sessions to go through the mindset shift for her to be in a place where she's at now. Like, they should give me more, even more than more. This common mindset for women in business is down to society, where we are set up to believe that we should always be thankful for the bare minimum. Lack of knowledge about salaries is also a barrier. One of my favorite quotes is, when you don't have the knowledge, you can't work with that knowledge, and you can't use that to your advantage. So this lady had no idea that people were being paid this much in this space, and that people were being paid even more, but it wasn't within her purview. So she thought it wasn't possible. Defeating imposter syndrome, which is so common for women as an unrepresented and less well-paid group in business, is more of an emotional than a practical challenge. We all have it. That thought of, I don't know if I'm good enough. But my argument is, if there's someone that thinks you are good enough when someone is giving you the opportunity, the doors open a crack. So why wouldn't you push it open a little further and take a step in? Often, what you have to potentially gain is so much richer than what you have to lose. Try to think deeply about this. We'll see very soon. I'm done speaking with Silu for Métissage Sanguimisto podcast series. Bye.